All right, everyone can see you now. As we were going, let's just jump right into it before the next thing goes wrong.
This video is sponsored by Kit Kat, by the way. Kit Kat, the best chocolate bar on the planet Earth.
Chocolate bars. Okay. Anyway,
Just
how's your day been? How's your week been? How have you been with the whole transition of everything? As if everybody didn't know, he's off to college. He's a college boy. You can tell by his
get
hat.
some music up in here. You don't wanna. You don't wanna
Music.
Get some
You
music
keep
up in
adding things. Let's just talk. Nobody cares
You don't
about
wanna have
music.
some music.
Nobody cares about
They do-
music. Who cares about music?
Add the music in later.
Listen,
That's
look.
why. Yeah.
Hey.
My week has been good. All right. It just sounds so bland in here. At least get some music going. It's fine.
You have ADHD.
So.
Pretty sure I think that's the problem here. Pretty sure it's the ADHD flaring up.
Are you being ableist right now? Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely.
Is that what you're doing? Okay, cool. I'm glad that you're being. So no one tried to get me for that today. There was I'm following like a few Marvel pages and like because She-Hulk is out right now, which we'll talk about later. They're doing the whole incel versus women thing and stuff like that. So they're like, if you don't like She-Hulk, you're an incel. And someone tried to make a meme, but they spelled the meme wrong. So I was like, hey, if you're gonna make a joke, you can't stutter when you make the joke. And then I posted like a meme like, oh, when you're about to roast someone but you stutter. And then they were like, well, glad that we know you're an incel because you're an ableist as well. What? And then I'm like, and then they fixed the meme, and I was like, you messed it up again, fix it again. And like, how do you make fun of people who stutter? And I'm like, I stutter. I have a lisp. I have a speech impediment. I don't really care. like, how dare you make a fat joke? I'll be alright. I will be alright. Just me. I think I'm allowed to make those jokes. Like, imagine telling a person in a wheelchair they can't make wheelchair jokes. That's people in a wheelchair. We're good. It's not that bad.
No, you'll survive. Listen, the whole sticks and stones break your bones thing's been fell off so long. Like it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
I wouldn't say it fell off. It's definitely stronger than it's ever been. But
you say one word and the whole person explodes. What?
Yeah, but let's not go too far off on a tangent. Let's get this started, shall we? Mm-hmm. All right. As per your first question, how has my week been? Mm-hmm. My week has been great, my good sir. Mm-hmm. Why? Because as the people know, I'm a college boy now. That's right. Your boy went off to college to get his education, and I'm smartly pretty good. Actually, I'm trying to be like J. Cole, because for anyone who knows anything about J. Cole, he graduated from my school. I'm not gonna say the name, because if you know about J. Cole, then you'll know what school I graduated from. I'm most probably gonna be wearing the hoodies, so it's not even gonna be a secret of what school I go to. It's not like I'm hiding my location. It's not like I'm famous or anything like that. If you ladies want to knock on my dorm room, I won't say no.
Right? Can you keep down the hentai, please? Like, listen.
It actually happened today. I actually had someone come over. We have like a dorm group chat, and a lot of people be asking for favors. Oh, can someone borrow butter? Can I borrow a can opener? But today's like the second day of class, and I was like one of the only people home probably. And so in the group chat, this girl was like, oh, does anyone have a microwave I can use? Now I assumed that every dorm came with a microwave, but I guess it's one of my roommate's microwaves, because I'll tell you about my living situation in a little bit. But I guess it's one of my roommate's microwaves. Because I was like, oh, like dorm rooms don't have microwaves. She's like, oh no, they don't, and stuff like that. So yeah, so she came through, used my microwave, chatted up your microwave. And then yeah, I live here, dickhead.
Your roommate's microwave. You come through and use my microwave. Roommate's like, wait, what the fuck? Our microwave. Does that make you feel better?
You know, calculate the wattages used at the end of the second. We are microwave 50 times this month. Why is there 151 uses? Who was the one person that you? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of iffy on it when first people was asking for like butter and can openers because like I didn't want to be like the guy that was getting used or whatever just for their resources and stuff like that. But it's like it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Class probably still going on. I'm probably like the only person in their dorm right now because I got back from class at like 12. So you know what? I'm not gonna be rude. It's a good way to be nice to someone, and I'm not expecting a favor just because I'm nice, stuff like that. Like I said, just chatted them up and stuff like that. Whatever. And yeah, so everyone seems to be so pretty friendly at my college and stuff like that.
That's good.
So hopefully I get to mingle and stuff like that. Actually, realize it's a perfect opportunity to like start using like Tinder and Hinge again. So we'll see how those things go because I was getting a lot of matches when I was at it. But now like I'm warm. I got my own apartment finally. And like campus, I've already like seen 100 people with SJU in their bio. So we'll see how things go. Wish me luck, guys. I might graduate about before the end of the year, if you guys know what I mean, because I haven't graduated yet. We're not talking about school, but I haven't graduated, so we're not gonna.
Let's hope you get some extra credit going in there too. You gotta.
Yeah, I definitely need to stay. I need to work, stay after class for some extra lessons and stuff like that. You know, trying to start a little study group. You know, no, definitely multiple study partners. I don't feel like one subject is enough for me to learn. I definitely need a little bit of math. You know.
You need to learn Spanish. You know, get
Spanish, Black history, of course. You got Black history and stuff like that. That's really important, stuff like that. I even, you know what? I just want to learn shit about U.S. history. You know, all of just the plain whitewashed U.S. history. I want to learn about that too. Black history,
environmental sciences.
You know what? I would love to have Black history and U.S. history at the same time and make an history Oreo. You know, that's just how it.
Marine biology. Get it. Niggas laughing too hard and broke the damn the microwave.
That was funny. That was really funny. I'm saving that clip. That's going on the highlight feed for the end of the year. We're gonna make a highlight feed for the end of the year. That's definitely going on.
It's already September, bro.
We started 6 months into the year. It's not like
I'm just saying this year just blew by faster than I was expecting. I don't know what that even means, but it just feels like it's going. I'm getting older.
Right.
Just turned 26.
Yeah. How about?
It's crazy.
Congrats, man. How was your Did you ever tell the people about your birthday? I don't think you did, right?
Did I? I don't think I did.
Yeah,
no.
It was me, but tell them what you did for your birthday.
Yeah. It was pretty, not too crazy, nothing wild. I went to some restaurants. My girl got me a hotel room, whole hotel room, all to myself. So we chilled in there, watched some movies, just kind of spent the weekend away from everything. It was nice and relaxing. Nothing too wild. Yeah, that's how you could tell I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Like I can say, like 2 years ago, I'd be like, let's go. I had a whole party, but yeah, you know, it was chill, laid back. That's basically how I've been. You know, just chilling it, cooling it.
Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, now we're moving towards the end of the year. We're gonna start getting colder soon, at least for me, because you live in Florida. So I'm about to start busting out the sweaters and stuff. Like, do you wear sweaters usually in like the winter time or not?
Depends how cold it gets. I mean, it can get pretty chilly down here, and by chilly I mean around like
40 degrees.
40 degrees. That's the coldest it gets down here. Well, I guess that's a lie. I think it dropped down to about 25. Not last year. I think it was the year before last. It got down to 25. And that was kind of wild, but that was like in the middle of the night. There was like no sun, no sunlight, no people, so it managed to get that cold. But typically, nah.
That's actually pretty bad for Florida because below 30 is snowing weather because below 30 is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And that's when it's allowed to snow.
Yeah.
And I think that people won't listen to global warming, climate change. Actually, it did snow last year in Texas. I know that for a fact in RDC world.
Yeah, it snowed here too. Like it usually, obviously, it snows like further up north in Florida, but it actually did it a lot further last year and the year before last. So it's like just slowly creeping up on us.
The equator. Yeah, people are not gonna be happy until it snows in the equator, bro. I'm talking about like on the equator, and they were like,
"It'd be great.
Oh, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah, let's bring Santa. Santa's invading everywhere." You think this is actually just global warming? You think it's because it's carbon emissions? No. It's Santa. He's invading, and people are just letting it happen, and we're just like, oh.
You're gonna start seeing the penguins with the beach balls and polar bears trying to get suntanned, stuff like that. Like,
polar bears, black bears, brown bears, all gonna be fighting each other, and the pandas are gonna be all, whatever the fuck pandas do. I don't even know. Retarded ass bears.
Doing what they've been doing. They're gonna be starting communism.
Those are the most useless possible bears I've ever seen.
Pandas are communists, bro.
Huh,
that's because they're communists.
I mean,
pandas are communists.
Yeah, they just kind of just sit on their asses, let everybody just give them food. Have you ever seen a video of a panda bear? They can't even survive on their own. That's why they're in danger. Let them die. Let them die. Like, they would not survive on their own.
Alright, well that'll do it for our weekly bear facts. I'm glad that you guys stayed around for that.
Yeah.
Anything else we gotta talk about ourselves before we just jump into like general discussions about anything, or?
Nah, I'm not that interesting.
I think we've been pretty good. Like we're getting better at staying focused on topic while keeping things funny and consistent.
It's tough.
So I think that just shows how we're growing as like artists and stuff like that. Not artists, podcasters. Yeah, I messed up. All right, now we got to drop a song. I'm gonna steal my roommate's guitar when he's not looking.
He's like, first my microwave, and now my guitar. What the hell?
No,
is that my girlfriend on your bed?
Let me talk about my roommate situation. So I got two roommates. I'm not in a dorm room. I'm in my own complex. So I have an apartment, right?
Okay.
So it's a 2-bedroom, and I have one room where the other guy has the room to himself. And then I got the bigger room, and I'm sharing it with another guy, but he's like super cool and stuff like that. Like, we be talking a lot on that. And then we got we each not each, but there's 2 bathrooms, so we got our own bathroom in our room, and then he has one bathroom outside.
So why does he get special privileges?
I guess it's first come first serve, but I actually don't mind the shared bedroom because our bathroom's a lot bigger. Like in our I didn't record it, but the one in the shower is huge, bro. It is so big. It's a standing shower, so it's not like you can take a bath in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But let's just say some activities might be going down in the shower. Not with my roommate. Don't.
I mean, at this point, you're saying like I prefer having a roommate sleeping with me in my room, and our bathroom is bigger.
I know, because if it gets cold, me and him.
And he lets me use his microwave. And I'm gonna use his guitar too.
It's funny because he's literally standing like right there. So he's.
I hope he does. I hope he keeps he sleeps with one eye open. And I don't know which eye I'm even talking about either.
Changed. I don't feel comfortable. Yo, bro, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's basically my living situation. But I don't mind. I bought some shower mats, stuff like that. I got like 20 bars of Irish Spring plus a giant bottle of.
Yeah, you gotta keep your man happy. Wash. Got you.
It's right. I literally, as far as the streaming goes, I literally just ordered my my monitor. Like 2 seconds before I hopped on stream, as well as a warranty. I bought some LED lights, and I bought some command strips because obviously can't just those LED lights they stay on there forever. So I'm about to spruce up the room and stuff like that. So the background is going to be like a lot better and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna put some lights right here so you guys have some stuff to like see in the background again. I'm probably gonna get like a big one-piece flag to put on my wall because I gotta decorate the room because you don't want to have a bland room. And girls are really big on your room looking nice and stuff like that. And as long as my side is lit, my room's gonna be lit. I do want to buy. I don't know if I should just buy a bunch of covers and stuff like that. But my mattress is so hard.
Bro, you taking this straight out of an episode? What was that episode of My Hero Academia when they're all showing off their rooms?
Showing their rooms.
That's what you guys
watch My Hero like that.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I fell off My Hero so hard. It is not. I literally like even with the new stuff with Bakugo. No spoilers, but the new stuff with Bakugo, I didn't care. Did not. I skimmed through the manga weekly, and I'm barely reading weekly. Like, I don't care. It's so boring to me now. I'm just waiting for it. I don't even care how it ends, bro. Like even like the last two war arcs back to back, I didn't care about.
I enjoyed what's his name just doing damage to all the heroes. I'm a pro villain, I guess. I don't even know to some degree. What's his name? See, I don't remember his fucking name. Shigaraki. Yeah. Like that whole arc, I actually enjoyed it just because it was like, yeah. It was just grimy. I enjoyed it, but then they always seem to. There's a momentum that goes, and they just knock it out with too much dialogue. and it just goes like, okay, I'm not reading all this. Like, it's interesting for the plot and maybe it's good stuff, but it's like you went from action to just talking. Like,
but the characters themselves just like fell off. Like, I love Mirio. Mirio's easily my favorite character in the show. Second would be Sun Eater. Definitely love those guys. But I don't know, like, I guess I was just expecting a story about superheroes, children in school to go a lot differently, and it didn't. Like, I definitely would have loved us to go through all 3 years and see them growing and stuff like that, and having these really fun school adventure arcs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of, once like it started getting so deep into this legacy plot, it actually got worse.
Yeah, and they basically skipped all the years that they were supposed to be attending because of just terrorist attacks.
Yeah, and that's kind of like why the movies aren't that good. Like that My Hero movie 3, you didn't bother. The third one's really gay. Like, it's really not in the negative way. Like, it's actually like a homosexual movie because they literally have like this music video romance montage of Deku and like the main guy, and they're like on this like romance music. And I was sitting in the theaters by myself because I have no friends. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, it's kind of gay. And Deku was Spider-Man the entire movie, stuff like that. I'm like, weird. I don't know. I was feeling my pants was getting bigger for some reason, right?
Homoerotic. I think that's what it's called.
Since we're on My Hero, we might as well just do an anime discussion. How's Hajime no Ippo coming for you?
It's actually pretty good. What episode are we even on? I don't know. He's fighting that. Damn, I don't know the names. I'm terrible with names. If anybody,
describe him. No, this is not his first match against Oda, right?
It's that pretty boy that has like that really fast punches. Right now he's trying to take him out.
That's Hayami.
Hayami, yeah.
I rewatched the anime like 3 months before I put him onto this, so like a lot of it's still fresh in my mind. Most of the characters I'm not gonna remember like off rip, especially when he gets into like manga territory, because I haven't started continuing the manga. Like, I stopped after the 3rd season of the anime, but I can remember a lot of the characters are just like fleshed out really well. That like this would be my 4th time watching them, I can remember. So like he already passed his first fight with Oda, who was kind of lazy but like had a good talent, stuff like this. Like, oh, if I can only get that my lucky punch in, and they were like, hey, how about you actually practice instead of just getting, that lucky punch in? How about you have all good punches and stuff like that? And then Hayami is one of the guys they expected to win like the Rookie King, because he's like talented, he's pretty and stuff like that. He has the fast punches, and then it was a bad match for Ippo. But I don't know. Have you seen how the match ends? Or
no, I haven't got to that point yet.
Oh yeah. I guess you'll see it.
Yeah, I think the next episode probably is going to come to a close.
Right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, and then the match after, I know the match after that too, that Ippo's gonna have next. So we'll see how that goes. I know the 3rd match is I'm not gonna say the name. I guess I'll just let you go for it yourself. But what I gotta say is Black Lives Matter, right? That's all I gotta say about that 3rd match,
I know
right?
What it is. I thought he already fought some black dude. No, not yet.
It's his 3rd fight. No, Jason Ozma is his. Oh, I said the name.
That's fine. I think he showed like a little bit of himself for like, it was a weird scene where they just started talking about him. He's like, he's like a black guy in Japan. I'm gonna make it all the way through. The most stereotypical black dude ever. I'm like, what in the world is this? What am I watching?
It's a big company. Okay,
like, yo.
This was recorded in the early 2000s, okay? You can't
my mom once told me. Bro.
Yeah, it is better than I'm saying, my brother. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to get down with the boxing game. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock me out some suckers. You feeling me? If they get on my way and step on my J's, I might just pop a cap in their ass. It's better than that. Way better than that. Way better than that.
Either they do that or they do the southern swang, the southern twang. Like my mama said. Like that kind of like. It's like, can't we just talk normal in any of it, please? For once,
we can't just have a guy say, "Hi, my name is Jason. I'm just trying to be a boxer, man." Like, chill.
I think the closest closest anime I've seen that got somewhat, a little close was Baki. I don't know. You haven't watched Baki. There, what's his name? What was his name? I don't want to. It's not Mike Tyson Jr. It was somebody else.
Muhammad Ali Jr.
Muhammad Ali Jr. Yeah, Like he was the closest to like just a normal talking black dude in an anime. Any other time it's just like, what the hell am I watching? Like it's just every time.
Right.
Anyway, we got off on a little bit of an anime tangent. So your room's
we're still talking about anime. Okay. No, we're past us and stuff like that. We're talking about like our topics that we want to talk about now. As far as the anime go, I'm in a stump right now. I think the last anime I know the last anime I watched was Trigun. I finished Spy X Family, and then I found out they were remaking Trigun.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're remaking it. Like I don't know if it's a continuation. Did you ever watch Trigun or no?
Oh yeah, that's really
okay.
Amazing.
I don't know how much you remember from it, right? But the ending of Trigun, this anime came out over 20 years ago, so I don't care about spoilers. But the ending of the anime was Vash holding knives, and he returned back to Millie and the other girl, I forget the main heroine's name, stuff like that. So I don't know if this is a complete remake of the anime, and I don't know if it's gonna follow the manga completely. But I basically watched it because I'm like, okay, how does this anime hold up to Cowboy Bebop or other 90s anime? Because I started rewatching Cowboy Bebop and I stopped again, but I've tried watching Cowboy Bebop on 3 occasions and I genuinely do not like it. I've liked other 90s anime and I've liked other 80s anime. So people that I tell them I don't like Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo, they're like, oh well, you don't like older anime. That's a lie. I like good anime. I don't think that Cowboy Bebop is good. Watching it now, if I would have grew up with it, not even that, because I watched Yu Yu Hakusho and I loved it. And I genuinely believe that if I would have watched it growing up as a kid, Yu Yu Hakusho to this day would be my favorite anime. Like I know a few people like the guys from Team 4-Star, Lanny Bator, Yu Yu Hakusho is his favorite anime of all time. I genuinely believe if I would have watched it for its time, the childhood memories I would have had of it, I would have been in love with it to this day. Still solid anime, other things that are done better. In current anime, that's why I can't be like, it's my favorite anime of all time. That's what goes to One Piece and stuff like that, which I actually did grow up with One Piece. That's why
I like the idea behind Cowboy Bebop, like the whole idea of like, you know, space cowboys and all that. I really, really enjoy it, but just the way they went about it wasn't. Again, like you said, for its time, it was probably very well done. I remember watching a few episodes when I was younger, and that's what really brought that nostalgia kick to me when I first like even heard that they're gonna do a live action, or I realized like, oh wait, I could just watch this on Crunchyroll or wherever it might be. I don't know if it was on Crunchyroll at the time, but I ended up watching it again. I think it was on Netflix, and it didn't have that same kind of effect that it did when I saw like how many episodes? I saw about like 20 episodes when I was younger. It didn't have the same effect watching it now that it did back then. So I do agree, but Trigun is different. I rewatched Trigun like I think twice, and it still had that same comedic effect. The animation was well done, and the story plot, the plot was still well done, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I would say that Trigun's probably biggest weakness. I mean, there's some animation. There's certainly, even for a 90s anime, it's not the strongest anime, because there's some anime like Dragon Ball Z. Beautiful anime. I mean, Dragon Ball Z had a lot of tech. If you watch the entire show, Dragon Ball Z had a lot of like
plot holes,
art areas. No, not the plot. I'm talking about in terms of pure animation, but like overall, like some of the animation was just gorgeous, stuff like that. This one doesn't have the best animation or art style at times, and I do feel like the action is lacking. Like there aren't a lot of dynamic camera angles and shots, and like wow, this is gonna pay attention to that stuff. There wasn't a lot of that in Trigun. Like you're never gonna get like an angle or fluid motion that's like, yo, this is breathtaking. And even the way that like a lot of the fight plots and conflict resolutions happen aren't that great. So it's not like it's a really like 10 out of 10 anime for me. It like I said, for its time it might be, but I'm just saying like in hindsight, which I watched, Trigun's actually one of the first anime I watched when I first get into anime, and stuff like that. So it's like I said, it's not like I don't have any nostalgia for it, but I actually kind of went into it blind, because other than like the first few episodes and knowing about knives and Vash and stuff like that, I didn't know anything about it. I knew I liked Wolfwood, and Wolfwood is probably like the best character in the show and stuff like that. I even knew that he died and all that stuff. So like that didn't really like shock me. But even with his death, the way his death went out, he was a really good character. And I even watched, I don't know if you ever watched the Trigun movie, but the Trigun movie's pretty sound.
I haven't seen it.
It's nothing too good, like it's not like amazing. It doesn't add anything to the show and stuff like that. It is better animated because it came out in 2010. But yeah, so but that's about it for me as far as anime goes. You haven't been watching any other anime alongside Hajime no Ippo, right?
Well, there's this one that I watched a long time ago. Speaking of like 90s anime, this one came out in 2008. It's Casher Sin. Have you watched that? No, it's basically about like a dystopian future with cyborgs and whatnot. And it came out in 2008, but it has like that same art style and that same feel of a 90s anime. I like it. It's very slow paced though. That's the only downside. But when it does speed up, it's actually very action packed, and the animation is beautiful, and the art style is just beautiful. So definitely, I would recommend that. But as for like any other anime, shit,
I think we can move on. I think we're good for anime. Okay, TV shows. Have you been watching any of the Marvel shows?
No. You were saying you're watching She-Hulk. Now, tell me, is it as bad as people are saying?
Yeah.
I figured. I've been seeing too many memes that have been like making me go, nah. Why would I get Disney Plus for that? I almost did it for Bleach, terrible. But for She-Hulk and all the other stuff.
Okay, so it's not terrible, right? It's not gonna sit here and say that like at a core it's a bad show, right? I genuinely think that the show cares more about hating men so far than it does about making She-Hulk an actual person, rather than I guess like a projection of women's problems. Because I think her name is Jennifer or Jenna Walters, stuff like that. Jen Walters, like that's whatever. Can't go wrong with that, right? So yeah, Jen isn't a bad character, and I think that She-Hulk isn't a bad character. She does have some choice line, like the first episode, stuff like that. I think overall, the show has an issue with men, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that pointing out men's issues are bad. I think that it has to be done tastefully, because when you have a bitchy character, right, as a woman, they don't represent women as a whole, because you have women in the show who directly contrast them. But then when you have it where it's all men all the time being the assholes and stuff like that, I want to talk about all 3 episodes right now, and I'm just a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen She-Hulk and stuff like that. This is gonna be a little bit of a tangent.
Overall, what's the plot so far?
Okay, so Jen Walters, if you guys don't know anything about Marvel, right? Jen Walters is a lawyer, and she is the cousin of Bruce Banner. Because of that, they share genetic traits that allows them to both be able to turn into the Hulk and be exposed to gamma radiation without dying. And they get into a car accident. Bruce's blood gets into one of her open wounds. She turns into She-Hulk. They go to a secluded island. Finds out that her gamma radiation allows Bruce Banner to heal his arm, which he got damaged in Endgame, and then they begin to train, stuff like that, and find out that she actually doesn't need the same amount of training to control her Hulk form that Bruce needed, because Bruce had a lot more trauma going up. Jen had a loving family. She wasn't like in that all crazy stuff. Like Bruce Banner's father literally killed his mother and abused him as a child. So the Hulk, we find out, is that is actually an alter ego. The reason why he has an alter ego is because that's the manifestation of his like abuse and his trauma and all the rage that he kept bottled down inside of him. Jen doesn't have that. That's why she's able to control her She-Hulk persona and stuff like that. That stuff all right there, great. Love it. Comic book stuff I eat up, beautifully told and stuff. Well, not beautifully, but all understandable.
Yeah.
Where the issue comes in is when they start saying things like, I control my rage because I get catcalled and I'm better at controlling my rage than you and stuff like that. Or when like Bruce is genuinely trying to help her and she kind of doesn't care, because like we're not allowed to give women senseis anymore. I don't know why having a wise teacher who's been through the shit that you've been through is considered mansplaining. Like we don't get that anymore, where like, you know, you see those stories where a dude is lost, not even like stories anymore, just in general, like we never see where women are like they're lost in life and they need guidance from an older figure, right? Because women, like a lot of those times, it's like the women are overcoming that a figure and stuff like that, like in Captain America, not Captain America, in Captain Marvel and stuff like that. Like you're not allowed to give a woman a sensei anymore because as a woman, I have more life experience than you. I think, like I said, the show goes out of its way to, like, not all men are the devil in this show, but the way the men are portrayed, it kind of makes it bad because, like, there's a scene where like her powers get exposed and everyone in her law firm knows and stuff like that, and then they're like they all go into the bar, like she's at a bar for after work because they're all lawyers. I guess they go to the bar and they're all chanting for She-Hulk before she even walks in and stuff like that, and then she walks in She-Hulk, they all cheer and stuff like that, and then there's this one dude who's kind of a douchebag in the show, and he's set up to be a guy douchebag. They go out of his way to make him extra douchey, which is fine because later on he's like it becomes so over the top that it's comedic relief, right? But when you first initially getting him, he's used as one of the reasons why she's like oppressed. Because they're like, oh, men in my job are trying to mansplain to me why my job sucks, stuff like that. But then we see the reference of it. But this guy is he's such an over the top douchebag in the show. Literally, a line of dialogue that he has at the bar is, oh look, there's a hot woman over there. I'm gonna go talk to it. And then he walks away. And I'm like, that's over the top. That's completely over the top. No one really talks like that in real life.
So the show turns like men into caricatures.
Not only that, just him in particular, like I said, and then they have like they have boss figures who aren't douchebags. Like I said, he's the extreme. He's satire. He's 100% satire of what over the top douchey men are like because he's consistently like that in the show. Like in the third episode, to the point where I had to start laughing. Not in like a laugh like how bad it was. It genuinely comes off as funny in some of his comedic scenes. That's why I was like, it's like I'm not like saying he like it's not a pet peeve for me because they don't portray it like that. At a certain point, when you're first trying to when they're first showing him, it seems like they're trying to do that with men and make men the enemy. But like I said, they kind of prioritize those scenes more than actually showing why we should like her as a character. Because like literally, they just all cheer for her in the bar, and then she gets fired in the next scene, and then that's it. She has like one friend, and I'm like, why are they like? She's just supposed to be like this accredited lawyer. They don't go out of their way to like have her have other conversations with lawyer, because like She-Hulk is supposed to be like a sexual character, or not a sexual character, but well, first of all, she's a hoe because she's a thought, she's the munch, but she's whatever because she literally slept with like half of the MCU and stuff like that. Not the MCU, in the Marvel comics. She a freak, bro. She be walking up the thing like, yo, I got a girl. Like, yo, but dude, that dick got a girl? That dick got a girl. That dick ain't give me some, right? I'm trying to see what the thing was like, you know what I'm saying? But like, nah. But she's supposed to embrace like sexual femininity and stuff like that. But you don't even see her talking to anyone else at the bar, showing her that she's supposed to be like, kind of cool and stuff like that. You just go straight from the cheers to like the guys and like being a douchebag, and then like, oh my god, by far the worst thing, unforgivable in the show. This like the moments where it wasn't trying too hard was bad, and like the moments when they were trying hard were even worse, right? So Megan Thee Stallion shows up in episode 3
because Megan Thee Stallion in there.
Because which is a clever way they used it. So they're like, a light elf, a shape-shifting light elf from Asgard is from New Asgard, which is on Earth, is on the planet, and she's been tricking dudes into like thinking that she famous people so she can get money out of them. And She-Hulk is a lawyer, so she has to deal with that and stuff like that. And they use that as an excuse to have Megan Thee Stallion in the show, which the actual Megan Thee Stallion appears like as the doppelganger, and in canon Megan Thee Stallion, like she's twerking with She-Hulk at the end of post-cut stuff like that, all that stuff you like watch, right? but what pissed me off is when they first bring up Megan Thee Stallion, and they're like, Megan Thee Stallion, you mean the multiple Grammy-winning award? And I paused the show and I screamed to the top of my lungs because that's like 90s level, like celebrity cameo. You know, it's like when let's say watching Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and they're like, Hannah Montana, you mean the famous girl that does the? And it's like, yeah, she's gonna be coming to the Tipton Hotel, and I'm like, I cannot believe that line of dialogue was in.
They're probably trying to do it ironically, but it came off as cringy. Just hearing you say that just sounds cringy to me. And I could like picture it in my head and just.
Like, I was waiting for the moment. I was waiting for that moment where they bump into like celebrity that like like a TikTok saying how celebrities should be on guest show. I was waiting for that moment where She-Hulk just bumps into Megan Thee Stallion and my foot player. What? And then the cheers go on.
Yeah.
And was staying at the screen, stuff like that. I was expecting that. But yeah, I don't. It's only
or Snoop Dogg comes over like, you guys got a light. Oh my god! Oh man, I hate
I was literally expecting that and stuff like that. So it's only 3 episodes in, so it's not the end of the world. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm looking forward to seeing Daredevil. I think Wolverine's gonna be in it too. But yeah, that's at least my tangent. Have you been watching any other shows other than like anime shows, stuff like that, or no?
Nope.
So movies. Have you watched any movies recently?
Any movies recently? I saw what's it called, Bullet Train.
How was that?
That was actually it was better than I was expecting. For some reason, anytime I think Japanese or Chinese or any of that, I expect more swords. However, the fight scenes, what's that? I forgot the main character's name. The way they actually played it all out, and you would think like every scene by scene, everything's gonna be on a train. It's gonna be like again, we're talking about like everything being like old-fashioned type thing. You would think it's like a murder mystery train type of plot and dialogue, but it wasn't. It was actually all about some briefcase. I don't want to spoil anything, but the action, the character development, if you want to even call it that, and the special effects setting, even that was actually beautifully well done. Like honestly.
How do you feel about Brad Pitt as an actor in the movie and in general?
He did great. He was like one of those laid back characters. He wasn't trying to be too much. He wasn't trying to be in the spotlight too much. Because of that, he actually ended up being in the spotlight throughout the entire movie in a way that didn't take away from the overall story. It didn't distract from it. He managed to like take that and surround himself with it and present everything all in one package.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's actor that's managed to stay consistently good.
Yeah.
Like the last 30
He's old as shit.
Man. Old as shit.
Like, I didn't even realize until I saw some wrinkles when it got close to his face. I'm like, how old is this guy? And I saw some bones and everything too.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, that he's definitely aging. Him and Leo are definitely getting up there. Mm-hmm. But great actor, bro.
Yeah, he was hilarious. That movie was hilarious. It really was. Like all the characters, it had some. I mean, I can't pretend to like know the characters. I've seen them from different movies. I'm not good at names again, but each one had their own particular scenes that added to the story, and it just kind of built up. You get like one scene here where there's like a massacre. I guess I'm gonna spoil some of it. There was a massacre at some a Mexican drug cartel's member's wedding, where everyone started throwing up blood, and I was like, oh god, what the fuck is going on here? And of course, Brad Pitt, he was the one that did it because he's some sort of secret agent or whatever the hell. But he didn't realize who the guy was. He had no idea who he was. So when the guy saw him on the train, he was like, he basically like, motherfucker. He's like, who are you? And then they ended up fighting. It was hilarious the way they did the scenes, and they go to each character and give a background. And I don't want to spoil the very end, but the very end was a bit of a twist. I expected it, but I didn't think they would go that route. But they did, and because of that, I didn't expect them to do that, even though I thought they might. It threw me off. So they did a good job in hiding certain things, and overall, I really enjoyed it. And again, I feel like it was one of those action comedy movies more than anything. They're really leaning more towards comedy for a large portion of it, but they didn't skip on the action, which I really appreciated. One movie I really want to see is Nope. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Actually, I'm glad that you brought that up because I just saw Us for the first time.
Oh, you did?
Last night.
That movie's weird.
I gotta say, I wish I had my sunglasses on me. Do I have my sunglasses on me? I want to do this bit right. I'm probably just gonna cut it in because I can't find my sunglasses. But I just want to say I saw Nope, and it's the biggest piece of shit. I'm gonna cut that in for the Rock and shit like that. It's the biggest piece of shit that I've ever saw in my life. It's the fucking terrible movie. Now, I don't really like Jordan Peele as a director. Great guy. I'm sure. I love his comedy, Key and Peele classic and stuff like that. Get Out, I was really skeptical about at first because he's really hard in his messaging. Not a terrible movie after all these years, stuff like that. I'm never gonna like a terrible movie. It's shitty. It's garbage.
You didn't like it?
Fucking awful.
What was wrong with it?
One of the worst movies I've ever watched. I don't care about the themes. Classism and I don't care. I understood everything about the movie. I didn't need it explained to me. He has no idea how to make a movie. He doesn't know. He absolutely had no. He was like, oh, great concept. I'm gonna make this stuff like that. I'm gonna make this connect back. I'm gonna put little Easter eggs and stuff like that that people know. Oh, Michael Jackson. I don't care. He doesn't know how to make a movie at all. He had this concept. And at a certain point in the movie, I felt like he genuinely did not know what to do with it. Because I could sit here, or I really don't want to make this too long because we're already like an hour in and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna jump on the game a little bit.
I'm not gonna start talking about every single problem I had with the movie. All I need people to know is that the movie did not connect. And I'm sure he had this vision of it, but you can't expect us to read your mind. And that's basically what he wanted to do. And he got really cocky because he thinks that he's a great director, and that stopped him from making a good fucking movie. Is because you believed in your head that you're such a great director and people can read your mind that you don't even need to make a movie. You can just throw scenes on there, say it's about
but the trailer looks like so
classism. Good. Did you ever see Us or no?
Yeah, I saw Us.
You saw it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think about it? Did you think I'm bugging or no? And keep in mind, I went into the movie knowing the twist. So I went into it not understand. I knew the twist about the mother at the end. That's because like the movie came out 2019. I watched like
it's been a minute since I watched it.
Like that.
It's been a minute since.
I knew the twist going in, and it still didn't make sense to me.
Listen, let me see.
In fact, the fact that I knew about the twist and I got double alley-oop and the twist got revealed again, it made it even shittier for me. It made it even shittier because I knew the twist that happened with the mother. The fact that I knew that wasn't the real mother and she got kidnapped as a kid made it even worse because then you can see how the movie made no sense. You can see it. You can see how it like, wait a second, if I knew this happened and this happened, doesn't connect.
It was easy to tell. It was definitely easy to tell. You didn't have to be spoiled
and stuff like that. But you didn't have to be spoiled and stuff like that. But the fact that I knew it and I went into the movie and it made the ending unredeemable for me because of the fact that I knew the ending and it still went out like that. I don't even care about the dad being. I love the dad, M'Baku. I love M'Baku in the movie. I don't care that we're letting a woman. It has nothing to do with gender, and the movie has nothing to do with gender role. It's about classism, right? So the fact that the mother is the more of the lead role and stuff like that. I have nothing to say about that. I can't. So it's not even about nothing about black people. I have nothing to do with black people. I have nothing to talk about race in this movie. No. Everything, anything about it is it's all about classism and stuff like that. Nothing about it, which is good that he's able to make a narrative stay on the narrative. You cannot tie anything in this movie about race, and you cannot tie anything into this movie about gender. But the main characters are black. You could do that. You could say, oh, the husband was passive or he was the corny one. You could say those things. They're not important. And stuff like that. So good, like I said, that's why I feel like Jordan Peele is cocky because, like I said, I don't like him as a director. I think he's a bad director, but he's not bad in the sense that he makes a bad movie. The scene where I Got Five on is playing during the fight scene at the end, great. But I felt his cockiness when he knows this is a good scene and stuff like that. And that's what's pissing me off, is because you're making a good scene on paper, but the execution is bad. What is it? I saw a YouTube video, themes over substance. If the substance is, that's why that's why we love slice of life shows or movies about nothing that are so good, because like the substance in it doesn't need a theme, right? It's like, that's why there's something like Joker, where like there's like theories that Joker like is all in Arthur Fleck's head is so good, because like, yeah, the themes are about mental health issues and stuff like that, but the substance of how it's portrayed is so good. If Jordan Peele would have directed Joker,
that shit would have been terrible.
I can tell you how Joker would have been, right? So first off, it would have started off with the movie having an opening scene of like a situation in Joker's head, right? Where it's like a mental issue, health scene, stuff like that. Same way Get Up started, same way Us started, where it's like give you this opening scene to think about, right? Then it would have the entire movie showing us inconsistent things in a way that was like directly on about the issues of mental health, and then it would have went all the way to the end, and then it would have flipped it on its head and say, wait a second, this actually isn't the Joker, this is something completely different, and Joker never existed in the first place. And it would have directly told you that. In Joker, the way the director did it so brilliantly is that you have to like actively look for the things that don't make sense, as well as put in all the stuff that doesn't make sense. Like even with the background, and
it makes
your own conclusion.
That's the beautiful thing. That's why, honestly, Joker is one of my favorite movies now. No joke. Just because it's playing off mental health. Well, not playing off. It's about mental health, right? And it's about, because we all know the Joker. He's crazy, but it's showing that he's actually mentally ill, and it takes the audience, the viewer, and shows it everything from his perspective, and it makes you think like, okay, this is real, but then it shows you none of that actually fucking happened. This is all in his head.
But we don't know that,
because we don't know that.
We know that the Joker's a real person. We know that he fights Batman.
Exactly.
So we have to question ourselves and
exactly.
Our own
so
reality.
it's showing you're seeing things from you're seeing things from his perspective, in terms of like, this is how he actually sees it. He thinks he's the star of the show. He thinks he's the hero. He thinks he's gonna get the girl. But in reality, he realizes like his life is just a tragedy. And he takes that and says it's a tragedy. But it's funny and it's a comedy. And the way they twist, honestly, I love the Joker. That movie is just amazing. It's
such a good movie, yeah.
I don't think anybody else would have been able to direct it better. I don't even think anybody else would have been able to act as well as Joaquin Phoenix either. Honestly, the acting really brought, because I mean, you can have let's say, for example, what's the chick's name that played in Twilight?
Her real name?
Yeah, I forgot her name.
I don't know.
I'm gonna call her Bella anyway.
I was about to say Bella Dorn.
So one thing that I realized that I didn't realize until, obviously, what was that one? Tumblr, for all places to kind of open my eyes on something. I was a big hater of Twilight, mainly because it was all over the damn place, and I was getting sick and tired of it, and I would see it, and it was like so trashy. And then her acting.
Let me guess, you didn't like Justin Bieber either growing up.
Exactly, same thing. And then I realized, like, why do I not hate him? Why do I hate him? Because everybody else likes him, and I'm getting tired of people talking about it. But anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, she's such a terrible actor, and blah blah blah. And then I didn't read any of the novels. Why would I? And then I read some posts about like, the character itself is the problem. She did a beautiful job acting, apparently. Yeah. It was the character itself that she was portraying that was just dry and just not a great person. She didn't express herself. She was just very, stone-faced.
You know what that is, right?
Because she's, why?
Do you know why she's like that, or
why the character?
Yeah, why Bella is like that as the character.
I couldn't say.
You don't know?
No.
So the reason why she's like that is because she's supposed to be a self-insert. They're supposed to they wanted a blank slate character where the female readers could put themselves into that character.
But then everybody was trying to be strong. Oh, that's dumb.
They wanted to be allow the girls to imagine themselves being with Edward or Jacob or whoever and stuff like that. That's why like a lot of characters that stand out are like the father, like Bella's father stands out a lot, and like other characters stand out a lot because they have personalities.
Yeah.
Versus Bella, who's just kind of supposed to just lay there and take it and be literally stuff like that. So
yeah, so
that's why I like scenes that where they where she like actually starts getting older and has the baby. Those are regarded like really bad scenes because like you live to the monster. Like anytime she actually shows personality, those are like the worst scenes.
It didn't fit.
Like that.
My ex made me watch the whole thing.
I'm sorry, my room is like super hot, so I'm sweating so much. I gotta turn my AC on.
Hurry up! I want to finish talking about Twilight. One of the best movies of 20. What year was that? 2008. Actually, we're gonna be. I have only a few more minutes left. I want to get some, at least a little bit of progress in the game.
Yeah, my fault. I had to turn my AC on.
You're good.
And I was fucking sweating.
So anyway, that played a big part. So once I realized that it wasn't necessarily her acting, and she was actually doing amazing at acting, but the actual character itself was the problem. That made me realize, like, oh shoot. So I hated this movie this whole entire time because of her and thinking she ruined the movie, but it was the movie itself that was the problem. So the character that brings us back to Joaquin Phoenix. His acting, I'm sure anybody else that would have played that character probably would have done not just as good a job, would have done a pretty good job bringing out that character. However, the role of an actor should take that character and actually bring it to life, like Heath Ledger.
Right.
Honestly, by far, one of the best portrayals of the Joker, mainly just because of the ones that, again, I like. I'm a big villains guy. I like villains. I like horror movies. I like dark stuff, and that's one of the reasons. If you're watching, that's why I really wanted to start the whole part of the podcast where I go haunted houses, yada yada yada. Anyway, so he did the same thing where he really brought out the character and brought it to life in a way that you might not even think about, and he made it feel real. That's what he did, and that's the same thing. So I would say Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, every other Joker, by far, because of the way their acting ability. You have to feel the emotion that the character is supposed to be feeling. So, and since the story, I mean, obviously, if you don't have nothing to work with, that's gonna suck. So just like Twilight, you didn't really have much to work with. It was a blank slate, no personality having character. What are you gonna act? What are you gonna do? You have to do exactly that. But if the character that you're working with has a lot of personality, and the writer, director is allowing you to have that kind of freedom to bring out that character to life, and you have the talents to bring that character to life, then the movie's gonna be beautiful. So that's why I really, really love.
Okay, boom. So our last movie we're gonna talk about is Dragon Ball Super. I want to apologize to people because it's on me. I've been lazy with this stuff because I haven't dropped a One Piece review in like 2 or 3 weeks now. And I also think that we've been slacking on like, just talking about ourselves in general, because that's what this is supposed to be about. But we were supposed to drop a Dragon Ball Super review, and I don't think it's too late to drop one. We can make one, but I feel like we're probably gonna start focusing more on One Piece Film Red, which like that's kind of one of the things I didn't like. We both went to go see this movie at different times, so our schedules didn't line up. Plus, we had a birthday, and then like I've been so focused on this One Piece movie and God of War and like my streaming that I just haven't had time to focus on certain movies. But like we should be really talking about every major thing that comes out. Like if you go see Bullet Train, then we should be talking about Bullet Train. We haven't haven't been writing down anything. I used to, when I first started the podcast, I was writing down 1,000 ideas I had.
Yeah,
now
I had a whole notebook. I don't know where that thing's at anymore.
I have everything saved in my phone, but we haven't been doing that. So I apologize. And then going forward for the rest of this year, we'll be more on top of things. I know the only two big things for the channel that I'm really worried about is One Piece Film Red and God of War. So I don't know what else we'll be focusing on. So the fact that we're not dropping a Dragon Ball Super review, I apologize, but we're gonna just talk about it here now. So
real quick before we move on, just so I can like bring it up, so like I'll probably be more likely to remember it, and maybe you remember it. There's a video game that's coming out called Atomic Heart. Have you heard of it?
No.
It looks pretty good. Definitely look that up. I want to try to do a let's play on that one. I don't know when it's dropped. I haven't looked it up, but whenever that drops, I definitely want to play on that. If you want to like join in on that too, because it looks good. It looks yeah, it's like one of those post-apocalyptics. I think it is.
I see the aesthetic.
It looks pretty good. So definitely, but go on, continue.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Super. Let's just start off with our ratings of it right now. I think it's an 8 out of 10. How about you?
7.5.
You got to give a real number. So
7.
a lot of people have been saying that, and I specifically, I should start off with saying that whenever I ask for someone with a rating, I said without giving it a 7.5, you have to give it a number. What do you give it? Right? I don't think that anyone. A lot of people, when they want to say that it's good but it's not terrible, they go 7.5 because they feel like 7's too low. But like anything 8 or higher, people feel like you're calling it the greatest thing in the world. 8 is not a 9 or.
I wouldn't
10,
say that. I'm not calling it the greatest in the world. I wouldn't say like 8 is the greatest in the world.
But that's what a 10 would be. That's what a 10 would be.
The problem for me is,
I think
it's always been
really
one of the things that's always been the problem with me was Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, or any of the different spin-offs or whatever for Dragon Ball. And sure, this is my own personal problem. It's like at some point in time I should get over it, but it's the power scaling. It bothers me to my core because it's just,
which was an issue in this movie.
Yeah, it definitely was. And it's like, okay, so Piccolo, he's the main character. After all this,
in the last movie too.
Yeah. So after all the things that he's been through, all the amazing characters he's fought, how is he struggling now? Right. To me, that's been an issue.
Hello? I think you got cut out. Your mic cut out for a second. Can you repeat what you last said about Piccolo?
So out of all the characters, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Like literally the Twitch stream froze, and I don't know if the people heard you too. So let's say what you said again.
Weird. So after he's been in the Tournament of Power. He's been in all these different fights. And how is it that they were able to make androids as powerful as they were? Now, I get the whole idea that he's so smart. What's his name is so smart. He was able to make such a... Still, it bothers me that there's still characters on Earth that's able to be created. It's like, why didn't they create something? Why didn't they find somebody to help them save their universe in Tournament of Power? So now, I had an issue with power scaling before, but since the Tournament of Power, that PTSD that I have in my mind has gotten even worse, because it's like we see all these strong people, and now they just keep popping up. It's like Broly. Then we have what's his name? Gas, and what's that other one with the scope on his eye? I forgot his name. It's like all Granola. Yeah, you have all these different characters just popping up, and then you have a guy on Earth, a human, that's able to make a creature that can fend against Piccolo, who did a pretty damn good job at the Tournament of Power. Like, why did
you would think it would make sense because they're expanding the universe of Dragon Ball by a lot.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, because they're expanding it so much, and they're trying to like push. I mean,
the problem is that they expanded it by limiting it, though. So the first way we got universe expansion was Beerus the Destroyer.
Yeah,
and that's not even Beerus. We got Beerus and Whis, and that's a hard cap limit level 100 of the universe, right? Yeah. Nothing above Whis, nothing above Beerus.
Unless you go to a different universe or between universes, which is
even then, Beerus is like arguably the strongest god of destruction, if not the second. If you want to say Bermud is stronger or Jiren is stronger, which that's a crazy debate and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Jiren's not strong enough here. So.
And then they try to explain why Jiren was so powerful.
Right. Which I actually liked.
I did.
Actually, okay. So but I like that.
It bothered me in a way.
I know why it bothered you. So Team 4-Star talked about this, and this bothered me in the movie too, right? So the reason why they said that Jiren is strong from a rookie martial arts level is like the most basic of concepts. Now, when you master the base, that's what anime talk about. Like when you master the basics, that makes you overall stronger. But what Vegeta was talking about was not a foreign concept.
No,
moving with as much efficiency and as little like startup. I literally saw a video of Michael J. White doing that on Kimbo Slice, where he was like, he did 2 punches, right? So he was like, oh, catch my fist and stuff like that. And then he did one where he threw his shoulder into it, and he did one without throwing his shoulder into it. That's literally the most basic of movement, stuff like that. So the first punch that Kimbo Slice caught, the first he was supposed to dodge it, right? So the first one he dodged as because he televised his punch with his arm, and the second one he did without. So it's literally, that's all it is that he was basically saying.
Yeah.
And like they painted it in a way that Goku would understand that, but that's martial arts 101. And Goku the fighting genius, he'd understand that. Now, Vegeta explaining it's not bad because they haven't mastered that, because they're more primal as Saiyans and instinctive.
Yeah, they put their whole body into things rather than just like...
He literally just described Ultra Instinct. That's all he did. And that's like literally, and not like Ultra Instinct in the sense of moving your body, but Ultra Instinct is part of that. You have to move your body like Jiren without thinking. That's all Ultra Instinct is. Yeah. So Vegeta was doing a conscious version of trying to do a punch without any unnecessary movement. Ultra Instinct is basically one step above that. And he, like I said, that's not a problem, right? But that's like they painted it in a way that was like a foreign concept. It's literally not. I don't think explanation was bad. I just think that the fact that they had to explain it like that in a way where it's like a foreign technique is like no, and stuff like that. That's what your issue was. With
I like the fact that they like implemented it back into the story of like they presented it with Jiren, and the fact that they had Vegeta do it. I like. So far, I've been enjoying. I've always liked Vegeta's character development. It annoyed me from here to there, but overall, his character development, especially, I don't know if you read the manga. I genuinely
don't like Vegeta as a character. I think he's one of the worst characters ever.
He's calmed down, and I've enjoyed him. He's not.
He's terrible.
I wouldn't say he's.
I think till this day he's terrible, and he only gets worse as the series. Goku gets worse too. I'm not forgiving Goku.
Yeah, Goku. I will agree with you with Goku.
Vegeta gets worse.
Why do you think Vegeta's getting worse?
I'll let you finish. Go ahead. What you were saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like Goku. Yeah, I definitely agree. Goku's gotten worse because he's like accepted the fact that he's a terrible father. Like he just thinks it's funny and it's hilarious. He wants to fight everybody while risking everyone else's life. He doesn't care. It doesn't seem like he cares until somebody ends up dead, and he's like, "Why would you do that?" It's like, dude, this is your fault that we're in this situation in the first place. Like you being you, joking around thinking this all shit's funny is the reason why everyone's dying. And sure, you can bring it back to the Cell Saga. That whole thing. Sure, I'm not really sure what his whole idea and what he wanted to happen. He could have taken out Cell if he wanted to, but maybe it's was because I'm already dead, so I can't do it. Yeah, I feel like he could have took out Cell. I feel like he could have took him on, but he didn't. He didn't even try.
That's a debate, actually. I agree with you. I'm lying. I literally had an argument on Facebook about this a couple of days ago. Yeah, Goku. Okay, now could Goku have beaten Cell? No. Would he? Yeah. Same way with Frieza. Could Goku have beaten Frieza? No. Did he? No. Could Goku beat Frieza? No. Would Goku beat Frieza? Yes. That's basically how it would go. Same way Goku couldn't handle Frieza at 50% at all, and then found a way to beat him. Is the same way he would do with Cell. I don't think
over like a progression of time, he will find a way to win. That's like one of those main character and main tropes.
If Goku had no other way and Earth was in danger and he had to beat Cell to save the world, he would beat Cell.
I just thought of something.
That's not a meta thing, but that's not saying Toriyama would write it. That's in canon. Goku's always done that with every other character, other than the one time he's actively said I've given up, and he did that for a reason, right? So any other time where he had to with Kid Buu or Jiren, he does that in his. That's the type of person Goku is. That's why I'm not saying Toriyama writes it that way, like he's gonna invent Super Saiyan 3 right then and there and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he would have eventually, especially if let's say Gohan died, then he would have locked Super Saiyan 2 and it would have happened and stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna
realize that I'm a fool or something. I don't know.
So we can get back to the Vegeta, but I had a theory just popped in my head. Do you think? Well, sure, like I said, Goku's been a terrible father all the way up until now. Do you think it's because of the way he was trained when he was younger and the whole Saiyan blood thing that he just kind of threw Gohan into the mix like, oh, you're going to fight him now. I know this is a big, scary, strong character, but now it's your turn. And then once he got to that point, and then once like his wife was like, no, he's going to do this. And no, he's going to study. He's going to do this. He's not going to be a Saiyan fighter like you. He just kind of threw his son to the wayside. He's like, okay, I guess he's my son and I love him and I'll protect him, but I'm going to focus on me.
Yeah,
just because of the Saiyan blood.
Very clearly shown that he's never shied away from his Saiyan heritage, and he's definitely proud of being a Saiyan. He's not like he embraces his Saiyan side,
especially in the recent mangas. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but the recent mangas, I liked what they did with that.
Goku off rip has never rejected his Saiyan side. He's never tried to I'm a Saiyan from Earth. He's never tried to. Like I said, I can't quote Goku because I listen to the dub, and today's dub is fine. But like anything from Z dub or Dragon Ball dub might have gotten changed and stuff like that. So I can't say like directly like he said I'm a Saiyan from Earth and stuff like that. Especially because I'm pretty sure that's like a line from like the movies or whatever. Maybe one time against Frieza. I don't think he's ever said that to Cell or Kid Buu or anyone else like that. So I think that's like I'm Goku. I'm a Saiyan from Earth. He's probably said this to like Lord Slugger, which is not canon. I don't know how many times he's actually said that in the canon of the manga. So that's not a quote. I'm just saying that like I know for a fact that Goku's he understands that he's an alien, and especially as he's like gotten closer to Vegeta, he's definitely understood why he loved fighting, and he hasn't denied that love. And he like, you love fighting like that because you're Saiyan, it's in your blood. And he's like, well, I guess that's, I'm not going to deny that.
Here's a nice transitioning point. Comparing Goku and the way he treats his sons to Vegeta and the way he treats his son. There's very obvious character similarities between that, but it seems like he pays more attention. Vegeta pays more attention to Trunks than Goku has paid attention to any of his kids. Like, sure, to a large degree.
I'm pretty sure Trunks probably has barely seen Vegeta in the last 3 years, because it's been 3 years since the Broly movie. So I'm pretty sure that Trunks has probably barely seen. Keep on, he's younger. He's a year older than Goten, but like they had a growth spurt, but they're still only like weird. 12 and stuff like that. I don't think it's weird. I'm glad that they're finally getting older and stuff like that, so they can actually be used. Which we'll talk about Gotenks later. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Trunks has probably barely seen Vegeta growing up. Like he's probably spent more quality time that hasn't been focused on training with Trunks, like them going to like the zoo or like the arcade or something like that. Like, don't think you punch me in the face, I'll take you to the amusement park, right? I don't know, but I don't remember that.
It seems like their interactions, there's more. It's probably based off of personality, but because he probably projects himself onto Trunks more than Goku does to Gohan. But it seems like he just gives a shit more about Trunks, even though he still does the Saiyan thing of just not being there. He's being a typical black dad, basically. Monkeys.
I definitely agree in a sense, because like,
you think that's the being fan born, theory? That's why fan theory. That's why Frieza calls them monkeys.
Monkeys are very nurturing.
Fan theory. Frieza calls Saiyans monkeys because they're not there for their children.
Monkeys are always there for their children. They're very nurturing. No. Okay. But yeah, basically Vegeta.
Why do you hate him? Why don't you think he's a good character?
Okay, I think I don't think he's a good character at all, because these days I've actually been wishing that Raditz was replacing Vegeta. Like I wish it was Raditz in the story.
That would have been interesting.
But that's like a whole nother. I think I might bring that up in like I'll probably make a least favorite, and I'll probably make Vegeta like the first character I talk talk about in that. I don't want to go too much of a tangent because they're barely in the movie in the first place. We have to kind of talk about this movie. But I don't like Vegeta because he's 3 steps forward, 10 steps back character. And a lot of the fans kind of get blinded by him. And they talk about his pride and all this other mumbo jumbo. Vegeta's a bitch ass nigga who talks mad shit, gets his ass beat even faster. Gets his ass beat even faster, and he literally cries every fight. Every fight, someone's making this dude cry. Frieza made him cry. 18 made him cry.
It's the best. It took all this time. Like, think of it this way. Imagine being basically to your planet a god. You're Prince of the Saiyans. You're Prince Vegeta. You've put yourself on this pedestal all the way up there, and then you come to a random planet thinking you're about to take it over and destroy it or sell it.
You can't use that.
No, listen.
That's not true.
No, listen.
He's not 10 years older than Goku anymore.
Listen. I'm going back to the. Okay, so imagine you're the Prince of the Saiyans. You have such high standards for yourself, and you go to this planet. You meet a Saiyan that's been not exposed to all the stuff you've been through. He has no idea about his history or anything, but you've been through all this stuff. You see yourself as higher than him, and he beats the shit out of you. That was not once, but several times later. And then you train, you try harder, you come back, and then more people beat the shit out of you, and then more. But you still think yourself like, okay, but I'm the prince. I'm that guy. I'm that nigga. Oh, how could this happen? And then you come back even stronger, and then you still get the shit beat out of you. Every single time you get stronger and you get stronger, and you know you're getting stronger. You can see it. Everybody else can see it. But there's still more characters coming back and beating the shit out of you. And one of the first people that managed to put you in your place, that really almost killed you, but still like, I'm gonna let this nigga live. You're gonna come back. Every single time the person that beats the shit out of you, he comes and beats the shit out of. So then it's basically him double beating the shit out of you again and again, messing with your pride all through the story. So just again, put yourself in the position where you think that you're basically a god, nobody can mess with you. But now all of a sudden you meet this character, we meet this guy that's supposed to be the lowest of the low of the classes of your race, and suddenly he's better than you in every single aspect. Wouldn't that mess with your pride? And I would imagine Saiyans, for all it's worth, they're extremely emotional. That's where they get their power from like anger, sadness, or any of that. So I'm not surprised that he's crying. But this whole entire time and up until this point, he's finally reconciling. He's like, okay, I need to try to direct this thing in some sort of more creative way, more that's actually going to be more beneficial for me. How do I do that? He's finally starting to think rather than just going based off of the same pride. Pride is an emotion, it's one of the sins, and he's taken that and trying to switch it around in a way that's actually be more beneficial, not only for him but the people around him, in a way that I really do like. I think his character growth has been fairly decent.
He hasn't grown as a character. I will say in the manga,
he still doesn't want to be. He still has the same idea and the same mindset. Like, I'm not gonna lose to you, but he's not willing to sell his soul to Bibbidi or Bobbidi to do so anymore. He's gonna win on his own strength. Like he said, it's like, I want to do this on my own. I'm not trying to go for Ultra Instinct. I want to do something that's different. I'm gonna try he's let his pride go down a lot compared to what he used to be.
It took 40 years for that to happen.
Well, that's 40 years in our time.
And a lot, huh?
That's 40 years in our time.
No, and it's 40 years in fucking Dragon Ball. You know how many years have passed? My nigga Goku probably like 50, my nigga. My nigga Goku, Vegeta, and young chickens, my nigga. We talking about 50
How old is Gohan
right now? Huh?
How old is Gohan?
Bro, probably close to 30.
30?
Goku probably had him at like 20. Goku had like a 20, 25, bruh.
I don't think
these niggas are in their 50s, bruh.
Well, I know like Goku is probably like 45. I would put it at the low 45.
How old do you think Gohan is? How old do you think Gohan is? Wife and child.
He's like 26.
3 years have passed since the Broly movie. You thought he was 23 at the start of Battle of Gods and Revival of F? Come on. Come on, bruh. Fucking, how many years passed after Majin Buu, bruh? Because Gohan was 17 at Majin Buu and stuff like that, and then Goten stuff like that. I mean, it depends on how many years passed in Battle of Gods. Because
so I'm reading. Sure, it might not be completely canon, but I'm just looking up
I'm not saying Gohan's 30,
23, 24 with the time chamber editing, Goku stuff, blah blah blah. When these are like quick searches, I would have to actually.
These dudes either way, these dudes are close to 50. 45 is close to 50.
I think he's in his 40s.
45 is close to 50.
But like, if
these niggas are close to 50.
when Vegeta first came to the planet, how old was Gohan? He was like maybe like 5.
He was 5.
He
was 4, and then a year
maybe
passed.
about like 20 years, give or take.
Yeah. They're talking about 20 years of the same bullshit, minus the last like 6 or 7.
The trials and errors over and over. He's changed. He's gotten worse. He's gotten better. He's gotten back to worse, doubling worse when he sold his soul. But now
you're ignoring everything. You're ignoring everything.
But do you think? But look at the idea of like no, I'm not ignoring it, because look at the normal progression of humans. You think a normal person. Listen. If you're that prideful, do you think a normal person that's at that that has that prideful nature is just gonna switch on the dime over like the course of 5 or 4 years? It takes a long period of time for that to happen. So the fact that it's happening over 20 years is not out. Yeah, but he's not as bad as he was. There's a progression that's happening.
It shouldn't take 40 years and retcons to make you a good character, because
that's what happens with everyday people.
We're talking about a story that is continuing after it ended, and he had to go back and change things about the character to continue it, which is not
because people change.
By Akira Toriyama. So we're not gonna sit here and ignore the fact that Vegeta had his confidence. You talk for long enough. Fuck off. You talk for long enough. Now it's my turn to talk.
Because you're wrong. Because you're wrong.
Because I'm wrong, but you won't let me talk. Every time I try to talk, you cut me off. Listen up to this bullshit. Vegeta had his moment where he was a good character. His character illusion finished.
And he fucked up.
Fucking admitted when he was when Goku was fighting Buu in Super Saiyan 3. He had the speech. He's like, every time I turn around, you're doing this. I realize you're better than me, Kakarot. You're the best. I always admit that.
Yeah.
Right after that, Battle of Gods happened. They retconned it. I know I said he's better than me, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let it stay that way. And all of his character went straight out the window. Talk about prideful, him being embarrassed about the fusion dance, but then every time Beerus tells him to fucking twerk, this nigga get on his hands and knees like, yes, master.
Of course, he's the god of destruction.
Yeah, Vegeta's a bitch ass nigga. He's always been a bitch ass nigga. And Goku doesn't give a fuck. Goku's a real nigga.
That's why he almost gets everybody killed. What do you mean? There's a character difference there. It doesn't mean that it just shows there's a character difference.
Goku doesn't go around talking about his pride and stuff like that. And now
he's ready to throw hands with every single person that he finds. Like if he would literally, no, not Vegeta, Goku.
Oh, Vegeta?
There's a difference in character.
Vegeta. He was glad that he didn't have to fight Beerus.
So Vegeta,
I'm glad I'm not getting my ass beat by Beerus right now. Oh,
of course, because he will. Vegeta will get. He realizes like, okay, if I do anything with this guy, he can literally just. I'm gone. I don't exist anymore. Goku's like,
so glad that
okay, and
my ass right now. Yes, Daddy Beerus.
Yeah. Yeah, that pride. That shows like his pride.
Right now.
His pride goes out the fucking window.
Character development, because he's a bitch. That's the character.
When it comes to Beerus, absolutely. I'm not gonna even pretend like that's not the case.
This nigga is scared, Broly, bro.
Yeah,
you think
like
he's a good character? You think he's a good fucking character?
Him being afraid of another character doesn't make his the way he's progressed as a character over time.
You know what I'm talking about, the fact that the fans and the show treats him like he's the super prideful character, and ignoring all the times you've been made a bitch in the show.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Wow, but
he gets smacked down.
And pride is admirable, and then 2 seconds later,
I wouldn't say that.
In the main booth.
No, see, that's a misinterpretation of what his character is supposed to be. That's a misinterpretation. So his character is not supposed to be. Yeah, no. So that's a misinterpretation from not only the fans of Vegeta, because they just, they ride his. They do too much in terms of like trying to make him seem like he's something else. 100%.
Like Vegeta,
No.
how the boy said it, Vegeta's the cuck. Y'all are the cuck fluffers, my nigga. What are you talking about?
No, I wouldn't say he's my favorite character. I still like Goku in terms of like just the power ups and yada yada yada, the normal stuff.
A bad bitch from day one. Talk about that. We're not gonna talk about how Chi-Chi consistently a bad bitch. Baddest bitch in all of Dragon Ball. Fuck 18. 21 got her though. 21 now that she's canon got her. I'm sorry about that. 21 is 21 20. Chi-Chi's number one girl in Dragon Ball. I wish she could be like her. And that's because Chi-Chi actually how Piccolo said it.
I mean,
this is, by the way, we're not even talking about
Chi-Chi had a fatty in that movie though. Not Chi-Chi. Bulma had a fatty in that. I know it was wished. I know it was technically cosmetics.
How we talking about?
But I mean,
we're talking about. We're not even talking about the movie right now. That's the crazy part about it. So
I mean, you listen. If you had the Dragon Balls, would you not wish for things to be a little bit better on you?
I'd wish for a bigger dick. Yes, if that's what you're asking. I want a bigger dick.
I want that. She had a fatty.
Hang time, man. My dick isn't small, but I don't got that hang time.
I'm not gonna make fun of her.
That shit is shrimping, bro.
I'm not gonna make fun of her.
Wouldn't you want like your hard life to be your soft life? And I wish my hard life, my soft life, bro.
Here's the problem. I have to wear scrubs for work. That doesn't work. I remember one day, like I had these extra tight scrubs, and I threw those shits away immediately. This was when I first started working there, and they're a little too tight. That was during my skinny phase. I'm like, okay, I was gonna okay, these feel nice. I feel nice and comfortable. And I'm like trying to take a blood pressure in front of this old lady, and I just see her eyes go like this. So I have
to repeat that because your neck cut out again.
I'm wearing these extra tight scrubs.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh no, repeat that. Oh, you say okay, start over because you.
So you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So I'm wearing these extra tight scrubs. I'm taking a blood pressure in front of this old lady, and I just see this. See, I'm sitting there. She's sitting there. Let's see. Never again. Never again. Not for my work. And that's not the first time that's happened. It happened a few more times with bigger scrubs.
You don't like being sexualized by older lady? I would love being sexualized by old ladies.
I'm not for any of that at work. Me personally, I'm not for any of that at work.
I would never blame an 80-year-old man for staring at a fat ass. You about to die, bro.
Oh yeah, no, you're staring at fire.
You did not get to see this stuff when you were in the fucking 1920s, bro. The bitches who wearing skirts everywhere. Listen. Like, you did not get to see them fat ass. Now, Matt, you know tight 80-year-old niggas are? They're like, there's a what app? I can just swipe right and get my dick sucked. Are you kidding me? Is that what's going on right now? I'm born 80 years later.
Listen, I ain't mad at her, but I'm still not trying to have her staring at it.
These girls go online right now and they just take pictures of their ass. What for? For attention. They didn't go for attention. This is flowers and attention. They wasn't showing me their ass. So yeah, they do it for these things called likes and stuff like that. But if a girl if Gertrude want to see a dick print, let her see a fucking dick print. I don't understand. I would love to let the lady see my dick print. But if it's either a tent or it's just not there.
I'm flattered, but nah. Like I'm a more private person when it comes to that kind of stuff. Until you know, once I'm in this proximity, then I'm all good. Okay. But out in public, job, nah. Me personally, no. So, nah, that wouldn't be one of my wishes. Mainly because I'm good enough, I'm decent, and just because they'll probably get in the way. Have you ever sat on your balls before?
All the time.
That shit's annoying. Imagine, like, you think that's the only thing that's gonna be like, no. You gotta make it even because it's gonna look all weird and just kabobble. You're like, okay, I want all this.
Here? What were we talking about?
Bulma.
That's how we got to dick prints?
Yeah, because she wished for like, I need this for my face. I need my caboose getting bigger. And then
how do we start talking about dick prints though? That's crazy. I don't know. We're not talking about the movie. We were talking about Vegeta, and we ended up started talking about dick prints. I think Dragon Ball
Vegeta likes showing his balls though. You see those tights that he be wearing, those blue ones. That's weird. See, that's what has people going crazy.
We gotta move on because we supposed to talk about the movie and we went on a.
You don't want to talk about his monkey nuts?
Bro, we didn't talk about anything related to the movie outside of Goku with Vegeta.
It's a little too late. It's already almost 10 o'clock. We've talked about nonsense this entire time. We've argued about whether Vegeta's trash or not. We talked about how terrible.
We gotta move on from Dragon Ball.
There's nothing more to move on from. Like, we're done. That's the end of it for the night.
You want to end it?
Yeah, I probably should. I got work in the morning. I got to show these women my print apparently.
All right. Yeah, we even get to talk about any current events like Leo and shit like that. So.
Listen, that just means we got more stuff to talk about next time. That's all that means.
Okay, cool. So that's been your weekly wrap up for today, guys. For this week, guys. I was supposed to drop my room tour, and I gotta drop part 2 of Judgment. Let's Play, which I'm kind of behind because it's supposed to drop every other day, which would have been today for part 2. I'll drop it tomorrow. I've been super fucking lazy. I'm getting my monitor Sunday, and that's when I'll start picking up. I gotta go back to. I gotta go back home for a little bit and pick up all of the stuff I need for college, including my PS5. And we'll see how things go. Yeah, hopefully this is gonna be a good year for me. Don't worry, you won't get a call in a month about me crying.
Learn your lesson.
My girl, I've learned my lesson. So y'all won't get a call from me crying and stuff like that. I don't get chat. I was down bad one point. Shorty had me crying, bro. I got my heart broken. I'll tell that story another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't got enough time for today. But your boy took an L his first time at college. Don't worry, we're not gonna have that happen. If anything,
nobody knows you here, so just set a new name for yourself.
Yeah, I'm bigger and I'm better, and literally, right? So let's like I'm gonna hook up this room. I got money in my pocket. My skin gooey, car dumb. How stupid. Let me stop.
Gooey.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna hook up the room. I got money. I got me a job. My job is going good. Classes are gonna go good. Stuff like that. I've gotten this really big confidence boost ever since I graduated, because I pulled that diploma out of my ass. I pulled that cap and gown and diploma out of my ass, bruh. Because I was supposed to graduate. I literally was like, no, I'm not gonna sleep for 2 weeks straight. I'm gonna get all this homework done, and I'm not gonna bullshit with these classes and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's gonna be a good year for me. I love the holiday time. I love when it's cold, so I'm about to get crazy with the sweaters and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm about to see a whole new Josh, bruh. And like I said, hopefully I graduate before the year ends. So we'll definitely be. Yeah, hopefully. We shall see. Hopefully, I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna fuck this year up, guys.
So are you, I was gonna stream the game tomorrow because obviously you didn't do it today. Do you want to join in? Put you to the side.
Sure.
And we'll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have we'll see. Probably the same time than normal. Well, I'm gonna try to put some hours in for tomorrow.
8 o'clock sharp. I'm not gonna lie, we're getting really good at this because I don't have to make any cuts. Before I had to make cuts, stuff like that. It was really hard talking on camera before. It feels natural now, right? Like you don't really have a
so more often I think than before. Yeah.
Those videos were rough, right? Those I'm like,
we gotta plan it. We gotta plan. Now it's like just go with the flow. Talk about anything.
Like so these videos feel natural now. We can just talk. We're talking how we actually talk in real life, but that's like different. Like looking at the camera now doesn't feel like anything, and having the microphone set up and stuff like that doesn't feel like anything, right? So
I still have trouble staring right at the camera. Huh?
I was really proud of you when you were streaming. Yesterday, I was like, "Yo, you feel like a streamer." Like I can't believe I got you to start streaming. Like it actually feels natural for you. I was like, I'm like. Yeah, like it's crazy. So yeah, what were you saying? You trying to look at the camera and stuff?
Oh yeah, trying to look at the camera and talk. I feel like I've given up on that. I have to look at somebody's face, looking at the camera all the time. Sometimes I can like glance over, like, hey everybody, but for the most part, that's like the one thing that I have an issue with. But other than that, this has gotten a little bit better, I'd say.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of you guys. If Justin has any final words, I'll let him take it from here. If not,
like I said, we're gonna be streaming tomorrow, 8 o'clock sharp. I'll be posting it, updates and yada yada yada, so we can watch. All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you everybody that was on. Probably like all one of you. Appreciate you. So long, c'est la vie, adios, buenos dias, all those different languages. Peace.
TLD.